look at what we've got. Isn't this amazing? This wonderful leopard, and I'm sure she needs absolutely no introduction. But it is indeed Madame Karula. Now, don't fear, the cubs are around. They were here just a moment ago, and they've gone on a little wander. Oh, there they are. Good spotting, Brian. Just watching and listening in the distance. They are getting to that age where they're becoming quite curious. So perhaps they spotted a crested francolin or something on the ground, maybe a scrub hare, and it caught their attention. Now, Karula's slightly panicked by this because they got up and ran away from her and are going on their own mission. So she's just keeping a close eye on them. I suppose with all the scares over the last couple of weeks with the baboons, she doesn't want them getting too far out of her sight. But let's hope that there's no more of that. So she's just seeing. They're not too far from her. They're probably about 30 meters away or so. She can see them. Now I think she's sort of giving them the death stare that moms normally give their children. I know I used to receive it from my mother quite often when we were in the shopping centers, and I would run around with my little brother, not Sean the Xongile, but just Sean, and she would then glare from one end of the shopping center. We knew we had to come back or we'd be in trouble. Now she's munching on the head of the impala, so that says to me that there's absolutely nothing left of that kill. They have completely devoured it. And hopefully those little ones come back again. I think they're itching slightly closer. So as you can see, she's licking away, trying to get rid of all that hair. So to turn the game drive radio down. Here we go. And one of the other cubbies are coming back. We'll see who it is now. It looks maybe it's Xongile. You can see in the corner of the screen. I'm going to take a few screenshots because I don't think I've seen Xongile yet. I've only seen Hosana. But we'll have a look. Hopefully the little one comes a bit closer. So remember, we absolutely love it when we're able to see the photos that you send us. So remember to hashtag Safari Live. Or you can even send us an email, questions@WildEarth.tv. Let's see who this is now. It's quite difficult to tell just from here because I'm also not used to the two of them and the size comparison. But this one did look slightly smaller, so I have a suspicion that, like I said, it is Xongile. And her brother has gone wandering off a little bit further, perhaps. But Mom is obviously a lot happier now that she can see her little darlings. And they haven't wandered too far out of view. Finally, it took us long enough to get here. I'm so sorry about that. I must apologize. I kept getting distracted by all the different things here. Here, the little one comes, and we'll be able to have a good view now. Now, if you know who this is, you've seen this little leopardess, if it is the leopardess, more often than I have. Maybe you could help me with IDing. Maybe if there are any identifying features. But it is tough at this age when they're not standing together, but I suspect, like I said, I think it is definitely Xongile. Come on, Hosana, where are you? Come and join us. I want to see both of you with Mom. Just hiding behind the silver cluster leaf. It's amazing how these branches are placed perfectly to obstruct our view. Anna Marie, I'm so happy that you are enjoying this and that we managed to find them. Because you've said that you were a bit nervous after the scare that they had with the baboons, and it is very, very scary, of course. Now, of course, it is all nature, as all this has to happen. But we're very lucky that on 2 occasions, Karula has just proven to be fantastic at what she does. And you can see, is that Hosana back there, Brian? I can't even see where that is. I'm looking on my little screen. Oh, there we go. Come back. I think, oh, I can see where you're looking now. Okay, yes, you see, that's just why I think it is. Oh, you see, they're very curious as all the birds flying over. I'm just watching them occasionally lift their heads. Come on, come back to us now. He's slowly making his way here. And you see that how Xongile is quite interested into everything flying over the top of her head. Like I said, they're becoming very inquisitive. say 8 months now. They're getting nice and big. They're doing very well. And I can't wait to be a part of, perhaps see when they catch their first hunt, go for their first hunt. Even if it is something like a little bird or even a scrub hare, a mouse. Wouldn't that be so exciting to see how far these little ones have come while Mom continues to nibble on the face of that impala, and she rightfully deserves to eat the last remnants, as she does all the hard work. See how she's now using her paw to try and pull chunks of meat off, which she's doing very, very well. And you'd be surprised at how much flesh is actually on the face, around the cheeks. And I know the cheeks of many animals are considered a delicacy throughout the world. And to a leopard, it's delicious. Every part of an animal is delicious. Well, that piece didn't look too great. She seemed to spit it out a little bit. She's crunching away, just also trying to separate the flesh from any little bones or perhaps any skin. Now we've got a lovely obstructed view of her face. Thank you, Karula. But she's a lovely leopardess. I hope that today at some point, it is a lovely cool day, this is great hunting weather, and that she does perhaps is able to catch maybe a little common duiker. There's lots of them running around, or even better, another impala, which will keep them filled for a few days. And I love that you call them the royal family. I definitely think they are such regal animals. And who is the king again? Is Tingana the king, or is Mvula the king? I've forgotten now. So if you can help me out with that. I've forgotten who we refer to as the king out of the leopards. I think it's Tingana. Look at those canines. See, just munching and always looking over her shoulder. She seems to be a little bit more nervous than what she normally is. I remember the last time that I saw Karula, that was a good chunk of flesh, she was very much relaxed. But she also hadn't had any of her scares yet, I don't think, from either of the baboon sightings. And now you see how she takes a bite, she stops, she listens, she looks over her shoulder to make sure no one's trying to sneak up on her. It's not just her that she has to worry about. I think if it was just her on her own, she'd be very much relaxed. There you go, she's taken that jaw apart now, which is great because she can now eat the flesh on the inside, which there seems to be quite a bit of. And the day is brightening up as well. It's really lovely. I thought that they weren't going to be here this morning. That's why I didn't even think to come and check. I thought there was no ways. Those little gutsy kids of hers would have eaten every last scrap. And it seems as though it's the other way around. Karula's, in fact, eating the last of the scraps. Excuse me, sorry. I've got a little tickle in my throat. I'm going to have to take a sip of water. There we go. That feels a little bit better. Here we go. Coming back over to Mum. Coming over very sheepishly. And I wonder if the young girl's going to perhaps get reprimanded by Mom for going on a wandabout without her permission. Or perhaps she's also just trying to eat and protect the last of the carcass, because she knows if she lets it go, she's not going to get anything back. Now, let's see if we can have a look here as to who this actually is. Like I said, I need your help. But I'm going to take 1 or 2 pictures. What are you doing? You're trying to steal, look at that, trying to steal the last bit of the carcass that's on the ground from away from Mom, or are you just going to play with it now? Yeah, I'm going to play with it. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you, James Richard. I'm very confused. So James says that this is Hosana. So James, I would like to know, how exactly do you know this is Hosana? Because at the moment, they're so small, and I know when they're together, it's very easy to tell the difference because of their size. And obviously you can look once again at the bits that make a girl, and a boy, a boy. However, with Hosana, it's quite difficult because his bits are not quite well developed yet, which makes it a little bit difficult for us. So was it the spots that you were perhaps looking at? Like I said, I haven't seen Xongile, so I don't know how slight she is or how stocky she perhaps is. And compared to her brother, of course. Both of them. Both mom and son having a lovely snack. This is beautiful. Hosana, you are an absolute delight to photograph. Isn't he just such a photogenic cat? Now, Xongile, feel free to come back at any moment so we can have a look at you. So what I've tried to start doing is form an ID kit for myself so that I do get familiar with all the various animals and, of course, the cats who play a very important role in the story that we have to share with you every day. So I've got a few missing cats still. I haven't got a photo of Xongile yet. Well, hopefully I'll get one today. I still need to see Mvula. I've only seen Tingana very briefly. I haven't seen this wonderful Anderson male that you're all talking about. Quarantine apparently is a stunner. There's so many leopards I've still got to see. But we're going to continue watching these wonderful cats munch away on their scraps. And while we do so, let's go back over to James, who's got a buffalo. She's finished ruminating. They've actually now moved away completely from that kill site. And Xongile has again joined. There's Karula, and then we've got Xongile who's lying on the left. And the silver cluster leaf. And she's now playing with the branches. Look at what is she doing? What technique is that? Is that the upside down leopard crawl? It looks as though it may be. And they're so funny at this age, how they're able to entertain themselves and not really have to worry about mom too much. I'm sure mom is very much relieved that she had 2 cubs and that they've got each other to... Ooh, look at that. How agile is she? Isn't that beautiful? That is amazing. I think we're going to see some action with the 2 little ones. They seem to have woken up a bit now. Oh, now I can clearly see the size difference. And there the 3 of them go. Isn't that just an amazing coloration that they've got on them? Especially at the moment. I can hear some impala in the distance too. And they're moving quite quickly. Where are you guys going? Now, I hope they don't go into the thick vegetation because it's just me in the sighting, or Brian and I, and the thumb in the sighting, and it's going to make it very difficult if they do decide to go through some nasty vegetation. We're going to have to keep moving. Right. So we're going to just quickly try and follow them. Now, she seems to move them quite often, especially when the kill is finished. And Cheryl, a very good question from you, and good morning to you. We're wondering how long or at what age will the cubs be when Karula takes them out on their first hunt? I suspect not too long from now. I reckon in the next 2 or 3 months, once they get to about a year, I think she's going to start taking them out, which is quite exciting. But perhaps they'll just watch. Just going to try. I want to try and get ahead of them now, just because otherwise we're going to end up starting and stopping, and we're not going to be able to keep up with them. So we'll try and anticipate their behavior so we can carry on. Now, let's see where they're going to pop out. Are you going to come this side of the tree, or are you going to go the other side? Let's have a look. You can see that they're going to go the other side. So I'm going to go a little bit further forward so we can get them coming towards us. There we go. This should be nice. Oh, you can hear my lovely brakes, which doesn't seem to bother them too much. So we're off-road now. So it obviously makes it quite difficult to keep the camera very steady. Here comes Madame Xongile. What a beautiful leopardess she is. I can definitely see her face is completely different from Hosana. She's very slight. She's not very big. She's a little like her mom. Well, they're actually walking right in front of the vehicle. I just want to duck down so you get a good view. How amazing is this to have 3 leopards pass by me within just meters? Isn't this amazing? And she'll still prefer to move her cubs during strange hours of the day, especially with the last few scares that she's had. Instead of moving them at night when everyone else is around and the predators are all out, she's going to keep them moving during the day. Now she's having a little smell under this fallen shrub. Perhaps there was something like a scrub hare, perhaps a tortoise that was in the area. We're going to have to keep moving now. This is going to be tricky. She looks like she wants to go into the drainage. So I'm going to very quickly try and just zip around and get around her and find another gap in. It won't be but a moment. Karula, don't go racing away from us. It's so beautiful to see you, and I've just got to see your lovely daughter. I want to have a good look at her so I don't ever mistaken her for Hosana again. Whee! And thank you so much for confirming that Tingana is indeed the king. That's great to know. I thought he was. I think Mvula has lost his title. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm going to try and find a little gap here. They're playing in the... Oh, can you see that? I think Mom wanted to have a scratch and scratch her nails, and she was bombarded by the little ones. They sort of said, no, not today, Mom. Unfortunately, you have to get your nails done at some other time. Off they go again. They're moving straight down into the drainage. So we're going to try and stick with them as best we can. The little ones. Hopefully we'll be able to find a little spot to cross. I'm going to itch forward again. Oh, what are you going to do? No, now you're crossing the complete... Okay, I'm trying to work out what she was doing. It looked like she was wanting to go straight down and below us, but it seems as though she's changed her pathway. And this is what happens, this is why it is so difficult for us to try and keep up with the various cats, is because they don't always stay on the roads. We go back a little bit more. She's walking right on the edge of a drainage line, and there's lots of bush willows and lots of terminalias and all sorts of goodies growing around here. So we need to find a clean way in. All right, so we're going to just try and meander through all these trees here, and perhaps we'll find another little gap to take us down. Also just trying to keep an eye on her in case she does cross the drainage. We don't want it to let her get too far ahead of me. So it may seem like I'm going fast. I'm really not. I'm going terribly slowly. Squeaky brakes. Right, let's see where she's going to pop out. Can you see her, Brian? I'm just having a look. I've also lost sight of her. I wonder if she didn't go down into the drainage. So we're just having a little look. Trying to figure out where exactly she's gone. Okay, let me go into this thicket slightly. Poke our nose in. It's very, very dense here. Not with big, massive trees, but lots of clumps of lots of little trees, which is going to make it hard for us. Leopards are obviously lovely, streamlined creatures, and they can... Are they gone it? Ah, okay. Right, I want to very quickly... I've got her again. She's going on a beautiful log, so I'm going to drive over a few of these smaller trees. Don't worry, little ones. But they're crossing. How cool is this? This is going to be fantastic. Look at them on this log. Sorry, I'm very much parked at a strange angle. There, they jumped across. How beautiful was that? And what a way to cross. Now, I don't think we can go along that tree to cross, but I did see another spot where we could cross, but we've got to go a little bit of a way away. Look at them, very, very gracefully going over this dead tree that's probably been dead for a very long time. This is so beautiful to catch them crossing a log like this. I don't think I've ever seen a leopard do this before. We often see many, many trees. Xongile, or was that Hosana, not taking too many chances. You see those lovely red flowers as they cross through as well. That was quite pretty from a little dwarf boerbean that's growing. Now, I need to try and get to the other side. So while I do this, I need to reverse again. Oh, coming back. Hang on, he's coming back. You come back out. Not going to Mom. Hosana's quite brave. Right, Mom's, I think, deciding what she's going to do next. I need to desperately get onto the other side. So while I head across to the other side, let's go back to James for a little update.